Players, we have breaking news and a conviction. Sit on back so I can spill this tea. So Elmer Fudd Stewart Rhodes has been convicted of sedition for the January 6th insurrection. Oh, yes, honey. It's true. Stewart Rhodes and one of his keepers was convicted in a federal court in Washington today for a plot to keep Frumpy Dump in power. So Stewart Rhodes and Kelly Meggs were convicted of sedition, and then the other three, Jessica, Kenneth, and Thomas, were convicted on obstruction charges. They were found not guilty of sedition. Now, Stewart was charged with several crimes, and he was acquitted of 2 separate conspiracy cases. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. Now, this trial was a shit show on wheels. It actually started with the Oath Keeper's attorney being arrested on her own charges in relation to the January 6th insurrection. The Oath Keeper's attorney, Kelly Sorrell, was arrested back in September, and she was charged with conspiracy, obstruction of a federal proceeding, tampering with documents, and misdemeanor trespassing in a restricted building or ground. So after that attorney was arrested, honey, Stewart Rhodes was doing everything he could to backpedal and pussy pop out of this trial. But the judge said, hell no, to the no. So the Oath Keepers didn't have very much time to prepare, and the evidence was overwhelming. The federal prosecutor said in an opening statement that weeks after Joseph R. Biden won the election, Mr. Rhodes and his subordinates concocted a plan for an armed rebellion to shatter a bedrock of American democracy, the peaceful transfer of presidential power. They claimed to be saving the republic, but they fractured it instead. Prosecutors showed hundreds of encrypted text messages swapped by the Oath Keeper members, demonstrating that Stewart Rhodes and some of his followers were enthralled in an outlandish fears that Chinese agents had infiltrated the United States government and that President Biden was a puppet for the Chinese Communist Party. The messages also showed that Stewart Rhodes was obsessed with getting in touch with Frumpy to the motherfucking dump. Prosecutors showed that in December of 2020, Stewart Rhodes posted 2 open letters to Frumpy Dump on his website, begging the president to seize data from voting machines across the country. And that was supposed to prove that the election was rigged. Who that sound like? Mike Lindell, the permanent L. He was also begging Frumpy Dump to invoke the Insurrection Act. So they said on January 6th, Stewart Rhodes placed a quick reaction force of heavily armed Oath Keepers at a Comfort Inn in Arlington County, Virginia. And they were ready to rush those weapons to Washington so that the Patriots could take over the Capitol. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. So for the sedition charge, he faces up to 20 years in prison and some fines. And he got a conspiracy charge. You talking about fucking around and finding out. Player, put your thoughts in the comments. This is Double D Mother.